Of all the Stoic virtues, the only one that cannot be faked is courage. You can pretend to be wise, you can pretend to be just, you can even fake temperance, but sooner or later in life you will have to face your problems, and to face your problems you need courage. Taking excessive risks is not synonymous with madness, it is madness, not courage, nor is it never feeling fear, anger, or sadness. Courage is the virtue that allows you to do the right thing despite the circumstances. A brave person can be afraid. It is natural, but despite fear, he does what he believes is right and necessary in each situation. There is no point in running away from those problems. The only thing we achieve is that our problems become bigger. A Stoic acts despite the obstacles, overcomes them, making them his own path. We have the example of Hercules when he was approaching adulthood. Hercules did not know what to do with his life. One day he fell asleep and began to dream. Two paths opened before him, and from each path came a woman, on one side virtue, and on the other side pleasure. Pleasure, he said to Hercules, I will take you along the sweetest and easiest path, and you will not be left without trying none of the pleasures. You will live without knowing the difficulties and pains. You will enjoy great pleasures getting them with the least possible work. Pleasure promised Hercules an easy life with shortcuts, and without challenges a life with the least possible work. After the proposal of pleasure, he said, Virtue, I am going to explain to you how things really are. The gods, they do not grant anything to men without effort. If you want to achieve something, you must make an effort to achieve it. To achieve it, if you want all of Greece to admire you for your courage, you have to try to do some good for all of Greece. Virtue promised him a difficult path with possible rewards. And with great sacrifices, Hercules opted for virtue. He did not live an easy life, but he did hard work with meaning. And he made mistakes several times along the way. He courageously faced everything he had to do until he managed to become a god. Like Hercules, the Stoics choose the path of virtue, and to act with virtue you need courage. In this video, I am going to talk to you about courage, the second of the 4 Stoic virtues. If you want to see the video about temperance, the first Stoic virtue, you have the link in the description of the video. Before starting, I would appreciate it if you would like the video so you can help me make this philosophy reach more people. Yes. You don't want to miss any videos, subscribe and hit the bell. I also leave you the link to the rest of my social networks in the description of the video where I upload more Stoic content. I imagine you already know the story of the Battle of Thermopylae, the Persian army of the king Xerxes with 300,000 soldiers threatened to destroy all of Greece due to the lack of coordination of the Greek armies to defend themselves from the Persian invaders. The king of Sparta, Leonidas, decides to confront them in order to buy some time for the Greeks to be able to organize themselves, as they cannot lead the Spartan army into battle due to some religious festivals. Leonidas leaves for the Thermopylae Gorge with 300 men of his personal guard. Knew it was suicide. 300 against 300,000 had no chance of winning. Even so, they knew what had to be done. It was their duty. As Spartans and Greeks, they were probably scared to death at the prospect of dying, but they didn't show it, and they didn't let it affect their judgment of what was right. That's courage, to face a complicated situation that will take you to the limit, and despite this you act correctly and face the problem. You do not run away from it. The 300 Spartans died in Thermopylae together with King Leonidas, but thanks to his sacrifice and his courage, the Greeks were able to organize themselves in Salamis and in the audience where they defeated the Persians. Thanks to their courage, the 300 Spartans saved all of Greece. This story is a clear example of courage. He says the legend that Leonidas himself descends from Hercules himself. Of course, both of them are clear examples of Stoic bravery. Stoics did not love risk or put themselves in risky situations on purpose. They did not avoid danger or unpleasant situations when they believed that something more important was at risk. For the Stoics, courage is totally essential to possess the other 3 virtues, wisdom, justice, and temperance. To act rationally implies acting with wisdom, justice, and temperance, and to act rationally one has to be brave. You have to have courage to face your ego, courage to fight against your biases and get closer to the truth, courage to recognize your mistakes, even if they hurt, courage to face external opinions, courage to try to achieve your goals, and courage to admit everything you can change. To work our courage, we must focus on these three things. 1. Work our sense. There is no need to confer your inscription channel for VC. Do not lose any content of Stoic wisdom.